Richard Harris struggled to remember his lines as Dumbledore during the first movie, so Daniel Radcliffe, who is just 11 years old, would ask to rehearse scenes with him, not because he needed practice, but to secretly give Harris more practice without embarrassing him.
The man pretended to be drinking coffee, but the cup was full of soil. Taking advantage of no one's notice, he poured all the soil into the trash can. Every time they dug out soil before, the prisoners would put it into backpacks, then swagger to the second-floor cell, and transport it to the gap in the roof through the hole. But as time went on, the gap was almost full. They were discussing solutions when the prison guards launched a surprise inspection. Two people turned around and ran to the cell. Because there were still companions in the tunnel at that time, they hurried back to the cell to report the news. But the space in the tunnel was too narrow, and the companions really couldn't make it in time. The prison guards outside the room began to wreak havoc, and ordered everyone to go out. Jim found that his companions hadn't come out yet, so he had to stand up to stop the prison guards. He pushed a guard hard, and the prisoners standing behind were not to be outdone either. The scene instantly became a mess. Of course, the prisoners with bare hands were no match for the guards, and they were quickly knocked down. But this also bought enough time for the companions in the tunnel. They blocked the hole with stones, then filled all the gaps with paste, and even moved a table to block it. In order not to arouse the guards' suspicion, they also needed to wipe off the soil on their bodies. At this time, the guards came to their cell. He threw all the items on the ground, and even climbed up to the attic. He was attracted by the poster on the wall. The guard's hand had already touched the ceiling, but at the critical moment, a colleague appeared and called him away. Only then did everyone escape the disaster, but they still received punishment. Everyone took off their clothes and squatted in the sun. Jim, who took the lead in making trouble, was also locked in a dark room. This still couldn't stop them. To speed up the escape, they decided to find more people to join them. This greatly increased the risk of being discovered, so they adopted a shift system. They could dig for at least 8 hours a day. In order not to be noticed by others, every shift change required careful cleaning of the whole body, not even sparing the nail seams. But as the tunnel continued to deepen, there was a lack of oxygen inside. Prisoners on shifts fainted inside. To solve this problem, Jim used the escape as a condition to get a motor. Then, when the lawyer visited, he brought in extra long plastic bags. He made them into a ventilation pipe, ensuring the circulation of air inside. The problem of lack of oxygen was solved. Everyone was looking forward to the success of the plan. On this day, they heard a strange sound similar to an earthquake. Fortunately, the earthquake only lasted for a while, but the guards found that the number of people was wrong, so they pretended to have sprained their ankles, thus avoiding the guards' suspicion.